Oh, yeah.
That is what you call a feast.
I am a happy pappy, man.
As Matt not
Asshole.
Yeah, we just had dinner from Loaded Pierogi.
Loaded pierogi. Yes.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things where it's like they come in this,
The go box.
yeah,
Yeah,
and it is enough for two. So you look forward to the meal the next day. But I got the wild mushroom and truffle with jalapeno crisps, obviously.
jalapeno crisp, chorizo.
Yeah, it's not a complaint or anything. And I don't know, I think loaded pierogi might be in the States as well. I'm not sure. Because it does have, okay, where do you want to deliver, whatever, in Texas. But, anyways, yeah, I looked at it and it's just minor. It was still delicious.
Yes.
And it's going to sound the way it's going to sound, but I wish I would have cut my sausage. So,
Yeah, like, because with what you decide you want to get, you have an option. You have four options. You can either get crispy pierogies, boiled pierogies, the rigatoni mac and cheese, which is what Matt got, and you also get what they call it a curly poutine, which basically is a poutine with curly fries. And then you get the toppings of whatever you order, and you can also add on other things. And of course, Matt, being quite a fan of chorizo, added that on. But and I even said, we got like we know what we ordered, but knowing who's whose, you got to open the box and have a look.
yeah.
So we got our dinner, and then we got well, they call it a snack, but it's dessert, anyways. So take this little to-go container off the top, take out the first box, open it up, and it's like, well, Matt, this is yours, because right on top there's a whole half of a chorizo sausage, and it's like, yep, that's his. And I even said, like, okay, you would think they would take, okay, if you're going to cut it in half, like if you cut it in half lengthwise, that's fine. And they probably cut it on the flat top, let's say, which is fine. You would think, though, that after they cooked it, they would at least chop it up. So you would get a nice fork full of the rigatoni mac and cheese with, the mushroom and the jalapeno crisps and a piece of chorizo. But no, they kept it whole, and it's like, well, that's not going to do any good. Now, you did get a fork and a knife. Like there was just a plastic fork and knife in the bag. So I mean, you could cut it up yourself, but I mean, really, it wouldn't be much for the restaurant to at least just quickly cut it up into pieces before putting it in the box. But aside from that,
they give you an option of ghost pepper sauce.
No, not ghost pepper, Carolina Reaper.
Carolina Reaper. That's right.
Yeah, you get Carolina Reaper hot sauce, uh, chili mayo, and sour or some other something else as well. And it's
Yeah.
like, carrot, you're in dangerous territory when it comes to the Reaper.
Yeah. Like I love hot food, and I don't know if I've ever had Carolina Reaper, but I just got to try it. So now I know we're gonna do this again, and I'm definitely gonna tempt fate, and we'll see how that goes. Cause I mean, I got the jalapeno crisps, and I got the chorizo, which is also spicy. There's a bit of heat to it, but it's not too bad. So
Yeah.
Carolina Reaper, I'm hoping to see what that tastes like, but it was good enough as it was,
Right.
so I didn't really bother with it.
Yeah, I got the double, which is bacon and cheese, and I think that was it. I think that was it. And then I put on some crispy onions and Brussels sprouts.
Ooh, I love Brussels sprouts.
Yeah.
So now that we got that out of the way, and yes, you are jealous. Well,
I'm sure you are.
no, yeah. So Roderick Strong is in All Elite now.
Yes.
I figured that was going to happen. I just mentioned earlier about Diamond Mind and
Yes.
how that disbanded. He got injured. There was no chance in hell he was going to go back. I mean, look, you've got Adam Cole, you've got Eddie Kingston, you got Claudio Castagnoli, you got, I don't know if Kyle O'Reilly left or already, or I'm not sure, but I know that Red Dragon is no more.
Right.
And you got Mark Briscoe, so you got a lot of the guys that were in Ring of Honor. So it makes a lot of sense for Roddy to go back to that territory, if you will.
You know, here's the interesting thing. You have Roger get jumped in the parking lot months and months ago. It's like, okay, who took him out while he was and they did the whole thing with Kemp and Julius and Brutus and the ambulance match and what have you. And then you had, you know, a few things with Roderick, you know, being in the wheelchair in the hospital and talking to the guys and whatever. And then it's like, okay, I hadn't heard anything about him or seen him in a while. But so it's like, okay, when is he going to be back? Is he going to be back? You know, how much longer, etc., etc. And then, you know, Wednesday watching Dynamite, and here he comes to save Cole and the other two. And it's like, oh, well, I guess that explains why we haven't seen him in better part of well over a year.
Yeah. But as I said, it made sense. And I knew that was going to happen because also you have Stokely Hathaway, who was in Diamond Mind in the beginning. So, I mean, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does in All Elite.
Yeah.
Now, there's a rumor. I don't know where I heard it, but if Adam Copeland doesn't come back to WWE, which I'm pretty sure he will, I don't see him not.
Yeah.
But let's say he does
Right.
go to All Elite because you have Christian and he's there. And I don't know if anyone saw that photo where they were at a hockey game.
Right. Yeah.
So, by the way, fuck you, Jays or Leafs. Apparently, they lost.
Yeah, but they're still one game away from winning the series.
Oh, so I don't know what the hell that was all about. That I was watching Global and they were basically boo boo faced some of the fans, and it's like, well, I thought the game was over.
Well, the series, the Leafs were up 3-1 in that series. Tampa won last night, so that would have put the series at 3-2. So they would have played. I think they play again on the weekend.
Oh, okay.
So I think Saturday would be Game 6, and if they need a Game 7, that'll more than likely be Sunday. And all it takes is just one win for Toronto to advance to the next round.
Oh. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I was watching Global News, and there were some fans going, we lost. It's like, well, I don't know, because I don't watch hockey myself, but so I don't know why I brought that up, but I mean, it's like, I don't know. If I were to watch hockey, I would watch the Leafs.
Yeah.
If I were to watch baseball, I would watch for the Jays or maybe the Tigers.
Yeah.
Actually, no, they're hockey, aren't they? Detroit Tigers.
No, that's baseball.
Okay, good. Oh, the Yankees. Well, it doesn't matter.
Yankees is baseball as well.
Yeah. But I mean, so I brought that up for some reason, and I don't know why.
Anyway,
Yeah.
watching spring breaking, one thing that I was curious about as to what the future will be, let's say. So you have the beginning. Okay, couple things. Opening match of the show, Pretty Deadly versus Tony D'Angelo and Stacks,
Yes.
and what they called a trunk match. And it's like, couldn't you have come up with a better name for that?
Yeah.
Mafia match.
Ooh.
Whatever.
Yeah, because they did use weapons. So.
But the idea is you win the match by stuffing your opponents in the trunk of the car. I love mafia movies you've seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you kill somebody from your opposing rival mafia gang, or you just kill somebody in general. You stuff them in the back of the trunk in the car, and then you send them sleeping with the fishes.
Pretty
much. And so,
yeah,
match goes on. Pretty good match. Kit and Prince. Elton and Prince. And it was Pretty Deadly ends up in the back of the car.
Yeah.
And then you see the family, so to speak, take off with the car. It's like, okay, where are they going? And it shows them in the car driving. It looks like it was raining. They're talking, oh man, what a good night. Great night for the family. Yeah, woo, we won. Whatever. And there's a noise coming from the trunk of the car, and it's like, okay, it's Pretty Deadly banging. Hey, let us out. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, Tony's driving. He pulls the car over. Channing gets out of the car. He's like, "Oh yeah, you want to cause a ruckus?" And slams the lid of the trunk on them and whatever. And then they showed D'Angelo and nice mustard. They showed D'Angelo and Dax
So,
at, at this dock, I'll call it for a lack of a better term. And they show them standing there, no pretty deadly. And of course, they're by the water, and it's like, okay, that indicates that they threw them in the lake, threw them in the nearby lake or whatever. And it's like, okay, when last time that happened was with Two Dimes when he left NXT and went over to AEW, although we only had, I think, one match with AEW and haven't seen him fucking since.
right.
So it's like, okay, is Pretty Deadly on their way out of NXT?
No.
And if so, are maybe they gonna go to AEW or go somewhere else? Maybe back to the UK and the UK independent scene. Who knows? But it's like very curious as to that. Just seeing that, and it's like, I wonder if that's the end of Pretty Deadly in NXT, if you will.
Yeah. Well, speaking of breakups, there is this rumor that grizzled young veterans have, I don't think necessarily been released, but it seems like they're no longer going to be in schism.
Okay.
So I don't know if that means they're going to go to Raw or SmackDown. I don't know if that means they're going to leave WWE altogether, which, honestly, I love schism.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a total loss because you still have Rain and Joe Gacy, so
I guess.
they can't fuck with those guys.
No.
Hopefully, I didn't watch all of the video. I hear that the gist is the WWE has now got another lawsuit,
Yes.
and it's all to do with racism and all of that, which that's happened in the past. I don't know why they're dealing with it now. I don't know how they're dealing with it now.
Yeah, exactly.
So, well, I mean, except for the Mustafa Ali thing, before Vince left the first time, and he had the whole, "Oh, the world was against me because of my name." That's all I can think of right now. But honestly, I don't know why Vince is there.
Yeah.
So WWE's in another lawsuit. I don't know what's gonna, I don't understand that. I really don't. I should have watched the whole thing with it, but I just figure, you know what? There's been issues in the past. Vince left quietly, so I thought, and now he's back, and it's like, okay, now we're gonna bring back more trouble, I guess.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean the company's gonna go down to shitter. No.
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 Yeah, not by any stretch of the imagination.
I just think that Vince needs to fucking leave. And why they even brought him back, I don't know. Because I know Stephanie is no longer in the company. I don't think she is anymore.
It will, yeah. When Vince announced that he was leaving, he was retiring, she came in, her and Nick Khan were co-CEOs, and then know, they said Triple H was the director of operations or whatever the hell. And then a short time later, Stephanie put out, "Oh, I took a leave of absence. I came back, but I know I want to continue a leave of absence. I know WWE's in good hands. I see nothing but a bright future for WWE, and resigned as co-CEO and have Nick Khan, you know, see the CEO himself, and all that I went down.
Yeah. And I shouldn't be smiling, but we all know what happened to Shane at WrestleMania. Embarrassing himself on national TV.
Well, apparently, he fucking tore his quad.
Oh, I know. I mean, I showed Kyle WrestleMania last week. What did you think anyway?
Pretty, not a bad show.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, I had a feeling Cody wasn't going to win the title,
Right.
but I was strongly wanting it to happen.
Oh, I'm sure everybody was.
Because I'm not sure where Joe is now.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, he may or may not come back. There was a lot of rumors months ago that he was going to move to AEW. I don't know. Like, I just don't fucking know. And now that there's a new world heavyweight title,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens at Saudi Arabia. Who knows? I mean, Night of the Champions should be fun.
Yeah.
I guess.
And what? Also, it looked like there was a couple of injuries that came about, and in a couple of matches, spring breaking. One was Indy Hartwell.
Yes.
Catching Tiffany doing a moonsault or whatever.
Yeah.
Her leg bent to the wrong way, and of course they took her to the back, and then she comes hobbling back out to retain the title. And then in the match with Grayson Waller and Carmelo Hayes, looked like Grayson had injured his leg. And right near the end of the match, he does a thing where he's on the outside and kind of rolls in the ring between the middle and bottom rope. But the way he came in didn't look right. And then Carmelo Hayes goes into the top rope and comes off with a leg drop, and Grayson was doing his best to kind of balance himself on one leg, and then you see Grayson put his hand on Carmelo's back, take the pin, and then immediately push Carmelo off of him and roll out of the ring. It's like, he fucked up his leg somehow.
Yeah.
Whether he hit it on the rope as he was coming in or something, but yeah.
Well, this is what we're going to have to do is eventually do a look back at Multi-Universe United, because apparently my brother Jeremy watched it and he said that it might have been Mike Bailey that fucked up his leg.
Oh, Jesus.
So, once again, wrestling's fake, people. So,
I was having this discussion with my nurse today. She was like, we got talking about wrestling, and she mentioned to me about the whole WWE UFC merger.
oh, wow.
And she was like, wrestling's fake. And it's like, well, okay, is it predetermined? Yes.
You're fired.
Do you know who's going to win? Yes.
Mhm.
But there's still, there's still injuries that can happen, whether it be a broken bone, a concussion, something torn, something, whatever. And she's like, well, yeah, but it's still predetermined. It's still, scripted and whatever. And it's like, yeah, but does that classify it as fake? No, we all know it's fucking predetermined
Oh
and
yeah.
scripted and shit. But how can you say that, when they, you know, tear their pack like Cody did, land the wrong way and your leg gets bent up under you, or, break a bone, or, you just, whatever. How can you say that's fake? How can you say taking a chair shot to the head is fake? Or a chair shot in general is fake?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, some of the weapons they use in WWE may be altered to make it safe to be used, whether it be a table, ladder, candlestick, so on and so on. Still doesn't mean that accidents aren't gonna happen. And so, you look back there a couple of years ago, I think it was somewhere mid 2019, I want to say. Yeah. And they had Sean Spears hit Cody over the head with a chair. And it was supposed to just kind of sit on his head, like they, there was an interview with, there was the Young Bucks that Chris Van Vliet did, and he said, "Oh yeah, they thinned down the seat of the chair, and so when Sean swung the chair at Cody's head, it was just gonna kind of form to his head and be on his head or whatever." Well, when Sean swung the chair, something happened and busted open the back of Cody's head.
Yeah.
So, that people that say wrestling is fake just don't fully understand the the consequences.
And that's the thing. Like, there's a video that Watch Mojo had now. Sometimes you don't know whether to believe that website or not, but they did. I think it was Watch Mojo. It could have been a Cultaholic, whatever the hell it was. They talked about the tricks that WWE uses, which I don't know why. See, that's the thing nowadays. People just give shit away.
Yeah.
So we know that, the moves have to be safe,
Of course.
I'm not quite sure if you watched the Chris Van Vliet interview with Will Sasso.
No.
That we're gonna do that again. It's a hell of a good interview, and I love Will Sasso. But regardless, he was talking about when he was in WCW. I mean, he did an appearance in WCW, kind of like a celebrity thing,
Right.
and he was wrestling Bret Hart. And he said what is true. Bret Hart did not hurt him.
Right.
He made it look real, but he did not hurt him. So there's an art to how to protect your opponent, because if you don't, then there's going to be issues.
Oh yeah. Like, wrestling is a dance.
Yes.
Both
Mhm.
both people have to not only be safe, but do moves in a certain way that not only will protect their opponent, but protect themselves and still look real.
Like, I can't remember who it was who said this, and I'm not quite sure who it was that Cody Rhodes did this to, but he did the crossroads 3 times.
Right.
And he knew that the opponent was injured. So he made sure that when he did the twirly thing, I don't know, you can't describe it any better, but he made sure that he protected the opponent so they wouldn't get seriously injured even more.
Yeah.
So, like when you have SummerSlam 97 and you have the incident with Owen Hart and the whole pile driver to Stone Cold,
Yes.
for some, and Steve even said it was like he didn't have his head tucked in. I don't even know what happened. His head wasn't tucked in. He could see the fact that it was like this.
Yeah.
So no one went crashing down. Well, that wasn't poor taste. What you knew that something happened and Austin broke his neck. So
There has been talk several times. Austin broke his neck. And that pile, on that pile driver, Austin got his neck broken. Austin's neck was broken. Austin admitted that
oh yes,
he got, what did he call it? Compression of the spine, or it's something. It didn't break his neck. It was just something happened with the vertebrae or whatever it was. It didn't break his neck. And after Owen delivered the pile driver, and I think Owen could tell something was wrong himself, and then they got the referee checking on Austin. Of course, Owens, playing to the fans and getting them riled up, and doing the heel thing, and then it's like, all right, we gotta go home and get Austin help and
yeah.
the roll up, and I think Owen knew that Austin didn't have that much strength in his hands and arms. So as soon as he felt Austin to kind of grab his leg, he just fell backwards and let Austin pin him.
Like, this is kind of what irritates me too, because for years and to this day, Bret Hart will always blame Bill Goldberg for ending his career. 2 things. During the match, Bret did get concussed earlier on the outside.
Right.
So that contributed to the kick, obviously.
Yeah, the kick worsened it.
So there's that. And we all know that Goldberg, there's a track record. He hurt Kurt Hennig. He hurt some other people. He was a football player. And I'm not saying all football players are clumsy, because look at all the wrestlers who have been in football and that are very talented. But there was a second point I was going to make, and I can't fucking remember.
Well, the thing is too, like, it was talked about that Bill Goldberg went to the power plant. He trained with them everybody at the power plant, but he was only there for I don't even think a year, and then they're bringing him up on TV and making him this huge ass star and
Yeah.
giving him this streak and whatever.
Hmm.
But if you remember, in the biography they did on Goldberg, Goldberg said, if I was intentionally trying to hurt Brett, you think I would know what the fuck to do? You're out of your goddamn mind.
Exactly. It was
Brett carried him through that match.
Yes. That's what I don't understand.
Did the kick connect? Yes. Was it intentional? No. I don't think Goldberg was intending to kick Brett as hard as he did. It just happened. Now, of course, Brett already being loopy from whatever the fuck. I think he was going for the figure four on the post like he usually would. And Goldberg was supposed to hold his leg, and Goldberg did it, and he smacked his head off the floor. And that's what initially concussed him.
Yeah.
And then, the kick was the straw that broke the camel's back, so to speak.
And I mean, look, that was my second point. He still wrestled for a few weeks.
Yeah.
So, and look, I love Bret Hart. I've been a Bret Hart fan for a while. Since I was 8 years old. Didn't really watch WCW too much. But I think he has to make like what Frozen says and let it go! So,
Yeah.
anyways. So we got Backlash next week.
Right.
Also, oops. NXT.
Right.
Bruno Momento. I don't know why I always draw a blank. It's Backlash over here. The joys of. See, this is what happens when we don't edit.
Yeah, exactly.
Battleground.
Yes.
Anyways. So those two are going to be fun. Wheels of Fury is back, and it'll be another double episode. So
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'll get that later. So anyway, anything else you want to say?
Yeah, I just really wanted to talk about the new World Championship and, talk about something, talk about Roderick Strong, talk about
The lawsuit.
Talk about a few other things, but yeah, the week that, well, I was going to say the week that was, the week's not over yet. The draft certainly is going to be interesting to see what's going to happen there. Definitely looking forward to Backlash and, Battleground as well.
I almost said I was wearing blue, but we're not. I'm not. So
No.
screw that idea. Yeah, it's a draft. I'm wearing blue. You're wearing red. No, I'm wearing black. Unless you're colorblind. Anyway.
Unless you're colorblind. Yeah, exactly.
So, for Facebook Live, I mean Matt.
YouTube, not Facebook.
YouTube, I know. Okay. I mean Matt. This is Killer Kyle. We have a lot of laughs here.
Aye.
So, we will see you next time. Deuces.
See ya.
I'm Killer.